Hi, this is Jack Westerman for ESEA.net here in Cologne, Germany for ESL 1 Cologne. Joining me this time is chrisJ from Mouse Sports.
Hey man.
How's it going? And unfortunately, of course, you guys were knocked out of the tournament by Team Liquid 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Commiserations. How are you feeling?
Thank
Presumably
you.
not great.
We feel destroyed again. Like we had this feeling before. I mean, most of the team we played here last year. We also didn't make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, it always sucks to not make the playoffs of a tournament, but then you come here, you come into the arena, you feel the atmosphere. It's just amazing, and it would be amazing to play in front of the German crowd, before all the fans, and we failed to do that again, and that's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, I mean, this is particularly painful because of that crowd, right? You're essentially the only home team. A lot of you guys
I mean, kind of home team. We still have 3 Germans, so we're the home team.
The majority home team.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the crowd want you to do well? Well, I guess you didn't play in front of the crowd even, did you?
No, we didn't. But I mean, there's so many fans here with Mouse Sports shirts or just other people that really are being good to us, and they support us and they want to cheer for us on the big stage, but it wasn't enough this time. Maybe next year.
Okay, didn't work this time. Has it still been nice talking to the fans around the event?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, everybody's really cool. It's nice to see all the fans, so that's certainly the good part.
Okay, well, let's relive your group stage results a little bit. I don't want to put you through too much pain, but your first group game was against Virtus.pro, which you lost 10-16. That felt like it may have been a winnable game at certain points. Did it slip away from you guys, maybe?
Yeah, it certainly did. Like, we were ahead 7-0 at one point, and then we somehow managed to lose against an eco from them, and I don't know, something either broke in our minds and we couldn't come back, or somehow VP started to roll. I mean, VP is still VP. Yeah. Lately they haven't been playing so good, but once they start to roll, they're really hard to stop, and they started to roll against us and they just pushed us over.
Obviously, Virtus.pro, you mentioned they haven't been good. 2016 has been a really bad year for VP.
Yeah.
And Envy are also kind of on the way down.
Yeah.
Were you confident coming into this group that you had a good chance?
We actually were quite comfortable, yeah. I mean, like you say, Envy is also not really on point at all, and again, this tournament they didn't show up to the task. I mean, they still have good players, you cannot underestimate them, but they're just not performing as they should or could. VP we were also happy to have in the group. Usually we play good against VP. We most recently on LAN, it's a few months ago, but we beat them quite easily as well.
Yeah.
But VP somehow, they can turn up and they can wreck everybody again, and they did.
Well, and then of course Team Liquid came out of nowhere, right? That was yours.
Yeah, that's also right. Yeah.
So you beat Team Envy in the losers game of your group, and you went through to the decider. Did you expect to be swept by Team Liquid of all teams? I mean, North Americans usually get a pretty bad rap.
Yeah, we were not expecting that at all. I mean, we played before against Liquid, not with Simple in the team, but you wouldn't usually say that Simple would bring the team so much. I mean, everybody knows he can be a hard person to deal with. You never know if it's going to bring the team a lot. Like maybe his firepower brings a lot, and obviously this tournament it did. But we thought we could take them for sure. And I mean, we played Mirage against them. Usually Mirage is a good map for us. And we know they hardly play it, but somehow they beat us 16-6, you know. So I don't know what to say about that. It's just no chance.
Was Simple a very noticeable presence in the server? Was he, I mean, you mentioned him, was he the game changer for Team Liquid?
I don't know. To be honest, I feel like Elise and Nitro showed up quite a lot.
Right.
So credit to them, also credit to Simple. He also played good, as far as I can remember. But it was not like a one-man show, at least not against us. I think against Na'Vi, Simple had a more bigger game, a stronger showing, but it's like Liquid, they came up as a team and we were not a team.
Okay, so I guess in that case, what are what lessons do you take away from this group? If you're playing as individuals and not a team, is that something you guys can work on?
I mean, we have to work on it. I mean, the show goes on. We leave for E-League next week.
Yeah.
We still have a chance to do good there. So right now, obviously, we're sad, but as soon as we're back from this event, we're gonna set our minds to the next tournament and give our everything for that. I mean, it's not the first time we had a loss like this, and we cannot give up again. We have to work on ourselves. We can, and hopefully it will be enough next time.
You mentioned E-League. Sorry, I've only got a few more questions. You mentioned E-League just there. There are a lot of Counter-Strike tournaments these days. It seems like every weekend you guys are traveling to an event.
Yeah.
Does it make it hard to focus on one particular event?
Yeah, it does make it, I guess. It's more like it keeps going now. Before you had like weeks or sometimes even months before a big event, and you were really working for that. And I mean, now we don't have any real time to prepare anything new for E-League. We just we don't even go home. We just fly directly to Atlanta from here. And
oh wow!
So there's no extra training, but still we can work on stuff. Like you can discuss stuff together. What went wrong? How can we help each other better? How we can bring a better mood to the team, stuff like that. So, but yeah, there's less time for actual practice. If it's good or it's bad, I don't know. Teams adapt to it.
Are there too many Counter-Strike tournaments, or is it worth it because it means the game's growing?
For me, it's worth it. I don't think it's too much at the moment. As long as there stays a few really big ones and that stand out, that everybody wants to show, like the majors now, or maybe an E-League. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, and Chris, just a couple more questions, I promise. So, just one final question on this tournament in particular. There have been a lot of upsets. We've seen G2, Envy, NIP. All those guys went out in the groups. Do you think, in a month or two's time, when we've had a chance to analyse this tournament, you guys will feel even worse because you could have been one of those upset wins, right?
Yeah, we could have.
Does that make it worse in a way?
Yeah.
Not to rub it in again.
I don't know. We already saw before our game we saw that Flipside beat NIP and they qualified to the playoffs, and it made us feel like okay, we can also do it for sure. We can also make the playoffs this time, but I don't know. It didn't help us apparently.
Right. And very last question. So E-League is coming up for you guys.
Yeah.
You don't have time to change anything, but are you optimistic about that league?
I mean, we're not the only team there who just comes back from the major with a loss, So obviously our mental state will not be the best, but we start against Gamers 2. They're also not going to be happy. They also came. Obviously, their group was harder than ours, but they also came last in the group. Yeah. They're not going to be happy about that. So we just need to take our advantage there and show that we can continue instantly after a loss. And I think we can defeat them. And at the major qualifier, we also destroyed them. So I think we have good chances there.
All right, Chris. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for talking to me. And I hope things look up at E-League over in Atlanta. For everyone at ESEA.net, stay tuned for more coverage here in Cologne.